This strategy is what makes these social media entrepreneurs so successful in an age where everyone is trying to make money online. Recently, you might have realized the rise in number of people trying to make money online. 13-year-olds doing monk modes, 15-year-olds making 100,000, 400,000. Heck, I even saw a 16-year-old making YouTube videos about how they made $500,000 in a month. And when you look closely enough to the people who are actually legit, who are actually seeing these results, actually making these profits, you start to see one thing in common. And I've taken the time to study the commonalities in these people's stories that, if executed on tactfully, you will be able to make just as much, maybe even more than these people, or at least you will be able to create a lifestyle of freedom for yourself. When I've broken down these steps into three things: building, branding, and business. The reality is most people will never achieve these results because although it's very simple in principle, it's very hard to do, and especially for a lot of people. The first step is building, or what I like to call building yourself. Solving your own problem is the first step. If you find yourself in an immediate situation, a lot of times we fail to realize the fact that we are exactly the same as other people. We like to think we're very unique, in which we are. No two people are ever the same, but we do face a lot of the same struggles. For example, if I'm a male in my 20s struggling with working out, for example, although I'm a unique individual and nobody else can be me, that is a struggle that a lot of other males will find themselves in. So a lot of people fail to realize that being yourself comes with the advantage of having similarities with people who are also around your age range, your location, the many points of connection we have to those that are around us. And that is a power because once you solve something for yourself, you're able to now leverage that thing and solve it for other people. For example, if I was struggling, let's say I was overweight and I was struggling to lose that weight and get into the habit and the lifestyle of fitness, and I was able to successfully solve that problem for myself through systems, routines, dieting, I am now very capable in assisting the next person who is in that position with getting to that next stage. And that is something of value. And a lot of people in this try to skip steps. They try to, when they haven't solved their own problem, try to go solve other problems. The first step is to eliminate all distractions and solve your own problems. And for a lot of these people who are successful online, it was starting their own businesses. Iman Gadzhi, at the age of 16, 15, had his struggles, his problems, a lot of financial problems. And he thought to himself, what can I do to make some money? And in attending school and being interested in social media and personal training, he found himself starting up what was a creative agency. Now, he didn't call it that at the time, but that's what he did. He offered content creation services to businesses around him. For example, his school's football team, he would film videos for them and he would create a certain amount of deliverables, which is the service he was giving them, a certain amount of videos per week, a certain amount of videos per month, and they would pay him monthly for that. And in doing that, he learned he could do that and he started charging different services and eventually built that out into what was IEG Media, which eventually was his social media marketing agency. And in doing that, he was able to build Agency Navigator, which is his course, something that he was able to sell to help other people. But that comes later down the line. The first step is identifying what your immediate problems are and focus on solving it to the point where you never have to think about it again. For example, if it's fitness, dial down your fitness so far in to the point where you're able to identify what your triggers are, how to fix it, what to do if you fail again. Solve it holistically so that you can offer that solution to somebody else. And a lot of people, it's money. People who did dropshipping, people who did social media marketing, people who did YouTube. That's why we see a lot of these YouTubers selling courses. And I know courses get a bad rep, but that's how we pass on the knowledge and the information that we have. There's a lot of bad courses out there, and I bought some myself, but I know that it's something that's needed for people to see change. The next step is how you differentiate yourself from the people who are fake, which is branding. And I call it building out in the open. This is basically the process of you solving that problem out in the open. So a lot of people go through things and they never share it. A lot of millionaires never documented the process of building their first business. For example, Alex Hormozi is somebody who I'm sure if he could go back in time to when he started his business, if he had the option of documenting everything that he did, his struggles, his ups, his downs, that's more or less the reason why he's so trusted now, because of the level of transparency and documentation that he has of that communicated. For Iman Gadzhi, it was him posting YouTube videos throughout the whole process of becoming a millionaire. And that gives him so much social proof that he has a lot less to prove when he's trying to win the hearts of the public. So whatever it is you're building, I'll take it back to fitness. If that's what you're building, if that's what you're struggling with, and that's the problem that you're trying to solve, then document that openly. Day one of my journey, day two of my journey. This is what I learned. This is what I'm implementing. Let people see that you are striving for something bigger than yourself. It's human, is real, because nobody's perfect and people can relate to having struggles. That way you also build the brand of the people that you're eventually going to be helping, because now they get to see you in a position with them and have camaraderie. By the way, if this system makes sense and you are serious about applying this to your business, I put together something called the AI Operations Playbook. Inside, I give you ready-to-use workflows for things like lead gen, onboarding, and client retention. Having automations that save time and workflows that streamline business processes can make or break your business. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to click the link below and start to see that transformation in your business. And then the last step is business. This is the process of commoditizing the solution that you have built over time and branded over time. So you've solved the problem and you've documented the solution. Now you need to sell that solution. So you package everything that you know, all your knowledge, all your wisdom, everything that helped you, the systems, the strategies, and now you offer that for the accurate price that it's worth to people who need it. For example, if you had a problem with your knee, and I know the exact exercise to help you relieve that pain for the rest of your life. And I was to say, I'm going to charge you $20,000 for that procedure. If you had the money, if you could do it, you would do it. It's a no-brainer. So when people say courses are scams, anything that doesn't guarantee you, anything that doesn't result in the actual promised goal, the actual promised outcome, that is a scam. But if you're somebody who actually genuinely went through the process of growth, trial and error, you've tested it on people, you've tested it with people, and you've seen the transformation in their lives, then it's evident that you should be able to charge for that. And you only charge what it's worth. And you build a business out of that. That way, it's something that you're passionate about. Throughout this process, you're refining yourself. You're also refining your work, because this is what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's all a self-actualization process. So building the solution, branding yourself and that solution, and then building a business that offers that solution to those who need it. And we can see that Iman has done that through building his agency, marketing agency navigator, and building his agency publicly in the open. He made videos when he got his first clients. He made videos when he made his first million, stuff like that, that gives you the credibility. It gives you the social proof. And then now building his business Educate, where he's selling a monthly retainer to millions and millions of people around the world to get into digital entrepreneurship. You've seen people like Dan Koe who do the same thing. He found out how to make money online through writing on Twitter, and he built his brand openly, talking about the process of how he grew from a freelancer, a web designer, doing miscellaneous services online, to now building his brand as a writer. And now he sells his course for a writer, and now he has his book coming out, The Art of Focus. It's all a self-actualization process. And I'm in the process of doing the same thing myself. My goal is to become a digital entrepreneur. And if you're here to watch that journey, I suggest you subscribe and tag along. Let's see how far we can take this. If any of that was helpful, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Till next time.